So what school choice entails is leveling the playing field between private options and public so that the money you spend on taxes is available to take your child to a school, any school of choice that you think will work best for your child. Well, right now the way we finance schooling in our country with our public funds is it highly favors those who are enrolled or choose to enroll in traditional public schools. If somebody thinks that that's not working for their child, the only alternative to opt out is to either find another place to live so you're in a different traditional public school, or to dig down deep and discover that you really have the ability to pay twice, pay your school taxes and private school tuition to enroll your child in an alternative. And most people don't have the financial ability to do that. So school choice means increasing the accessibility, the affordability of alternatives to traditional public schools. The central problem that school choice solves or addresses is the mass disengagement that we get when we assign children to a classroom based on where they lived and just how old they are. The spread in a given room between the ability and what kids are interested in, what they're passionate about, is so enormous that we've made the teaching job of a competent teacher, someone that's good at what they do and whatever it is that they know how to do. We've made it incredibly difficult. So we need to recognize that children and educators have strengths and weaknesses, and so we need a process by which to match what educators are good at doing, their strengths, with what the children need in the way of a pedagogical method, a way of teaching, a way of instruction, and a theme that will engage them, will make them excited to learn math and science and reading and English. For example, you might start a school with a sports theme. You learn reading by reading about sports. You learn writing by writing about sports. You learn math by doing computations that have to do with sports. Some kids would be bored to tears. You couldn't assign kids to a school like that based on their age or their neighborhood. But if you let them choose, some kids would wake up every morning and they'd practically claw their way out of the house to get to school because they just would be so excited to go there. And they would learn their subject so much better because it's packaged in a way that gets them excited to go to school. And so that's the sort of example of why you need school choice, because different themes and different ways of teaching work for some kids and not for others. What's important is the education of the child. Everybody pays the school taxes. We shouldn't discriminate in favor of those who use publicly owned and run schools. It should be based on what works for the child. So we need vouchers or tax credits or education savings accounts to make schools, all schools, much more accessible to the poor than they are now. The current system, predicated on being free and being great for the poor, is the biggest disaster for the poor that you can imagine. It leaves them without any help at all in making their lives all that it could be in our incredible country.